years old, and I moved to the United States in 1998 as a blue belt. So I've been doing it for over 24 years. Just my first time here in Dubai. Open up a school here, an affiliate school for Team SAS with Coach Eric Ramsey and Coach Cameron Knight teaching for us, and I'm just now here teaching my first seminar and having a great time.
Now, can you talk a little bit about your academy in Ohio? You've trained with some notable figures there. Let's talk a little bit about that. Let's talk about the environment, your students.
Yes, we have the main academy. We have 13 affiliate schools. We have one in Brazil, and now we have one here in Dubai. But the main academy is at 30,000 square feet. It's in the Middletown, Ohio. It's attached to the power station with our strength and conditioning coach. We've trained multiple UFC, Bellator, and mixed martial arts champions. Rich Franklin is one of them. There's literally a laundry list of UFC fighters that I have put on from scratch in the UFC, myself included. But in the UFC, I was employed by Zuffa for since 2005 until 2013. So for 8 years, I fought for the UFC, for Zuffa Strike Force, and then Titan Fight Championship. Just retired recently, 5 months ago, and dedicated myself again just to do Jiu-Jitsu, compete in Jiu-Jitsu, and to spread the art of Jiu-Jitsu to my students and to my affiliate schools.
Now, talking about mixed martial arts and Jiu-Jitsu for mixed martial arts, clearly you've trained a stable of fighters who fought on a very high level. How do you adapt Jiu-Jitsu to meet mixed martial arts, for example, the guard game and so on and so forth?
It's a completely different animal. It's funny to me explain because I never really got to use my Jiu-Jitsu mixed martial arts. I was always, I never had a really coach. I was always my own coach. I was everybody's coach, and I was also my own coach running my school. So, but as far as being a coach, I'm always been a better coach than a fighter. It's a completely different animal training mixed martial arts, Jiu-Jitsu for MMA, and Jiu-Jitsu with the kimono, with the gi. When there's punches involved, when there's strikes involved, when there's slip and slide, a lot of sweat involved, we stick to the basics. I teach a lot of basic movement, a lot of tightness, a lot of shoulder pressure, a lot of not giving any space, and a lot of position to be able to strike over submission. So we really emphasize, by the way I teach, I emphasize in superior positioning all the time, including wrestling coaches also. In cage work, all this plays a part. We need to do Jiu-Jitsu, being able to do reversals using the cage, using the wall, wrestling using the wall. There's no grips, there is no belt to grip, there's no collar to grip, so it's all hand. It's also very different to do submissions wearing the MMA gloves. The 4-ounce gloves make it very, very difficult to lock and rear naked chokes, as we all see in television and experience in real life. So we train Jiu-Jitsu for mixed martial arts, fully equipped with MMA gloves as a fight. I always say train as if. So we train for MMA and Jiu-Jitsu. I teach completely different than I teach Jiu-Jitsu with the gi. I teach Jiu-Jitsu with the gi is infinite. It's never ending. And Jiu-Jitsu for mixed martial arts, I really focus on the basics, on the tightness of the game, and then be able to not only be tight with no space, but also open up space to be able to strike while doing it. So it's a completely different animal. It's different culture, different sport, different things to teach, different approach to the game, different hours of training, different intensity. Everything is different when it comes to Jiu-Jitsu and mixed martial arts.
Speaking of which, in your opinion, because you've been competing for so long, what would be the best base for mixed martial arts? Wrestlers argue it's wrestling, boxers say it's boxing. An unbiased
My unbiased opinion, the best base, the best single martial arts for mixed martial art is wrestling. It really is wrestling, because not only because you can dictate where the fight goes, but also the work ethic that is implemented in the young wrestlers nowadays is the hardest, the most grueling training there is wrestling training. So as a Jiu-Jitsu and a mixed martial arts coach, grabbing a young wrestler to train, they already come with a no give up attitude, with the heart of a lion. They come hungry, they're willing to go to the grinder. That's why the wrestling phrase that's very known around the world is embrace the grind. And it's true. If you have a wrestling background and you're willing to accept the bottom game and learn Jiu-Jitsu on top of it, the stand-up game really I think is the easiest one to learn. The wrestling comes first. The work ethic that comes with the wrestling helps a lot, the jiu-jitsu and the rest of the game. But predominantly, the first martial arts that in my opinion, personally, that defines and it should be the first one that should be learned if your objective to fight mixed martial arts is wrestling.
That's excellent. Now, you recently promoted Rich Franklin as a black belt.
Yeah.
Rich has been, you know, he's the former UFC middleweight champion. You talk about him as a fighter, and do you see him fighting in the future again, or is he just going to focus full-time now on the ONE FC?
That's a good question. You know, I cannot answer the question for him. I know the answer, but that's for him to answer, for him to decide. Right now, as we speak, he's still on the contract. He's got a fight left with the UFC. He's employed by the UFC, but Rich is always in great shape. He always comes to train, never gets tired. He really takes his health and his lifestyle very seriously. And yes, I just promoted him to black belt after being one of my first students ever. So he's been a brown belt. He's been a brown belt for about 8 years now. You know, 8 years as a brown belt, and everybody asking me, why did you promote him? Is he a world-class grappler? Yes, with no gi. Can he handle himself against anybody? Can he go to Abu Dhabi, compete no gi against him one-on-one? Absolutely, he can. He didn't put enough time in the gi. And if you don't put enough time in the gi, you don't get your belt. There is no belts for no gi. So if he's great in no gi, that's good for him. And I told him for 8 years, say, Rich, you're so close, but you're not going to accomplish. I'm not going to promote you, and you're not going to get a black belt until you put time into the gi and earn your black belt into the gi. And finally, he came back, put on the gi a couple of times, you know, he became consistent for a while, and I couldn't hold him back anymore. You know, my mom told me a while back, it goes, why is he still a brown belt, son? And I'm like, because I don't want to promote him. Is he good enough? Mom goes, yes, Mom, he's good enough. So why did you promote him? Because I don't want to. Because he has everything. Why am I going to promote him to black belt? Then she goes, does he deserve it? And I goes, yes, he does. So when he came back to the school from California, one of the trips, we got together. We had a very small, simple, nothing special ceremony, and I awarded him his black belt. Well earned, well deserved.
Now, George, here's a sensitive topic. Your mom had passed away. She was scheduled to travel. Now, can you talk about your decision to retire from mixed martial arts, and how has it impacted your life? You know, just talk a little bit about it, please.
Sorry. 5 months ago, my mom was scheduled to move to Ireland to teach Pilates for a year, and she's always been my best friend, my biggest supporter, and I talk to her every day. You know, she's always been my inspiration, my role model, and you know, she's my best friend. She's still my best friend. And, I had a call from her. I was teaching class, and she just told me, you know, what does mother's talk? She goes, son, you know, get rid of all the bad energy around you. You know, we have a lot of bad energy, people that are just taking from you and using you. And listen to me, son, if you die tomorrow, everybody's lives will go on. You know, people find another place to train. People find another place to do CrossFit. You don't have to support everybody, to take care of everybody, because who's taking care of you? You know, just lose all these people, get rid of this bad energy, and just move your life forward, because you don't need these people around your life. And one of those mothers talk. And I was like, Mom, I'm about to teach class. You know, I'll talk to you in a bit. She was okay. I'm just going to go to the Apple store here in New York City and buy a chip for my computer so I can go to Ireland the very next morning. And 30 minutes after that, I got a call from a New York phone number, and I wasn't a unrecognizable phone number, and I picked up, and I was from the hospital, and they asked me if I was the son of Silvia Gallo, and I said yes, and they told me that my mom had just been killed by a cab driver. So that was it, you know. I can never call her again, but I know she's with me. I know she's proud of me. I know she's with me. I'm sorry.
That's right.
I'm living her wishes. I never skipped teaching a class, you know, even after she passed. I went to New York, I did what I had to do. She talks to me every day. I know she's next to me. She's next to my brothers. I hear her talk to me all the time. You know, she never left my side. She might have left physically my side, but she's always with me. She's always by me. Everything that I've been accomplishing, all these opportunities that are coming my way, all these great opportunities, I live a great life, and it's all because of her. She single-handedly built me to the man that I am today, and I know that I'll get to see her again, you know, when time comes. So, Mom, I love you. I know you're watching me. I know you're proud of me, and I miss you very much.
Thank you, George. It's been a true pleasure interviewing you and a true honor. And we wish you the best of luck from Fighting Lifestyle UAE. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, guys. I appreciate it. I'm sorry for the team.
Os.
Os.